former U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Middle East Policy, and he joins us now from Washington to talk more about this. Thanks so much for being with us. You know, Trump did make this promise. It was a key part of his campaign, but do you think it is the right step to take at this time?
Well, I'm confident in General McKenzie's view that this not only is along the right timeline, but the conditions under which this is happening are correct. I don't think he would say that the Iraqi security forces are prepared to take on the mission themselves unless he felt that they were ready.
Okay, but then there must be some kind of contingency plan in place. What is the post-pullout plan should there be a resurgence, particularly in Iraq, of Daesh activity?
Well, what I find quite humorous is the fact that the Democrats are accusing President Trump of adding 20,000 additional troops into the Middle East. And candidly, that's correct. They're not fighting wars, but they're pre-positioned at bases such as those in Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, some small numbers inside of Saudi Arabia. Not only that, but we've got a huge army that is able to get into that region very quickly through our strategic mobility assets. So I'm very confident that if additional forces are requested by the Iraqis because of the resurgence of ISIS, they would be proximate and they would be importantly helpful to the situation on the ground.
Okay, as for Iraqi security forces, you said you believe in the confidence of the commander that's there. If he says they're ready to go, you believe they're ready to go. But you know them. You worked in the field for many years. I know maybe it's been some time, but still, do you believe they are truly united and ready enough, to take on all the responsibility themselves?
Well, let's be clear. It's not going to be all the responsibility. Those troops that are left behind and those assets that we have within the region are still going to provide air support, intelligence support, logistical support. That is necessary to continue the development of the Iraqi security forces, but that is all being done without putting, as we would say, boots on the ground. But the Iraqi soldiers themselves, and candidly their militias as well, have been very, very tough fighters against the ISIS threat. ISIS has been reduced to a manageable level, manageable defined by the fact that the coalition forces can reduce. But the Iraqi forces are fighting every day against ISIS, and they're doing a great job.
Right. Mark, you'll remember very clearly this buzzword in the lead up to the Iraq invasion, quagmire. The U.S. was warned that if this is done, they will get stuck in a quagmire, which means you can get in, but you can't get back out. Now we're looking also at Afghanistan, the withdrawal of troops there. And the fear is that they will leave an already difficult situation in Afghanistan as well to get even worse, to the detriment of the security of the United States. This is a quagmire. In other words, no one should be able to really leave.
Well, I would make just the opposite argument, that because it's a quagmire, that's why we should leave. But it's important to keep an appropriate measure of force available so that if it is a threat to the United States and other countries, that it can get back in. But the very presence of soldiers on the ground at times can be an aggravating influence. So at this point, General McKenzie believes that there's a good balance between those in country on the ground and a balance with those forces outside of the country that can react if necessary.
Okay, Mark Kimmitt joining us there. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.